As I said in my previous video, I don't like the typical artist demo style, so I want it to be modularized. And I can learn a bite-sized course and finish each module. And this module will be like a complementary with the main roots of your development. So you learn like the traditional art, and then you finish some of the module, and then you learn like advanced traditional art, and learn a little bit about painting, and then finish the painting module. Okay, we got like for example, you learn the basic of painting, like painting for beginners, and then you can finish some modules like oil painting, watercolor painting, like outdoor environment painting, portrait painting, all that different module. We finish that. So the main, like your self improvement, self development, like outline, and then module. That's the format. And because you quickly go through the major modules that are already prepared for you guys, so you guys know what to expect. Okay. So yeah, let's go back. Let's quickly go through all this module I prepared for you one by one. Okay. The first, of course, is the anatomy. If you want to draw like human, okay, you have to know the anatomy is specifically for human. Okay, so you want to draw characters, design characters, the head, neck, figure drawing, hands. It's like a very difficult part, and especially for AI. But right now, AI can do it, and we human can also sort of must do it, or else AI can do everything. We don't know how to do that. That's bad, right? And of course, yeah, anatomy would not just like so-called true anatomy, okay? Especially it's just anatomy for artists. And the hard part about anatomy is that you got a lot of names to name, and so I would use a lot of the new methods because I'm a coder, okay? I developed programs and did all this model for games and all that. So I'm going to use a lot of advanced technique, advanced technology to actually demonstrate that for you. So you don't need to like take notes and all that, but rather you just you can use the model, you can use all this different helper tool to assist you to get things done, and you don't need to actually hard code memorize it, but rather just continue to go back. Just keep the anatomy in your head when you draw. Okay, just to keep that and do that intentionally, and you can get it. So yeah, and of course, all this basic stuff also included the perspectives. It's pretty basic stuff. If you want to draw not so flat, like just like you find some prehistoric cave, okay, all that's pretty flat. You don't want to do that. Need to make it more realistic. You need to understand the basic perspective, and yeah. So like vantage points, like different vantage point, and how to make it like a pretty aggressive and vanishing point. So it's like a fish view and all that. I've known a lot of Japanese artists like love this crazy view in their anime, like doing something like this. Like crazy one also is a very good technique to use in movies, and I think it's really helpful, to be honest. Even though there's all this you might consider all this like a theoretical thing. The theory actually is very helpful. Once you understand that, you may not be immediately helpful in your creation, but when you like go on your life, and you can sort of help constant reminder of that specific thing, and then you will see that's brilliant. Yeah, the perspective also, the art theory, art theory. You got a lot of art theory, to be honest. That's the reason why I think this is very important to actually learn, because art is not just about like a copy and draw that, but rather you got a lot of theory. And so I think I benefit this personally most, because when I actually do the design, whether say I intentionally put a video of how I create these bootcamps thumbnail to here. So basically, I got right now I got a 3 bootcamp. So I actually apply the art theory, like prime the color and like rotate that to the color wheel a little bit, and making more vibrant and making more contrast. So that's inside the color art theory, like color theory, the composition, and yeah, just basic visual storytelling stuff. And you have to learn art theory in order to creatively to use all this theory in the real life scenario. And of course, the big heavy part will be the drawing. And yeah, drawing. I encourage you to just follow the drawing traditionally, and also traditionally this should be the first module that you encounter. Just the sketching, drawing poses, ink drawing, like charcoal, pastel drawing, and all that. And we're going to learn from a lot of great artists in history. Okay, and for example, we're going to learn drawing from different style, like Russian style. I think it's really interesting style, and then you can get the basic knowledge of the actually quick sketching, quick drawing things, and then finally draw from imagination. Okay, and this is a really powerful thing to have. Some people like dive even deeper, and then they just ignore about color. They just use pencil and a sketchbook and all that, and they focus on this. It will be their specialties. But if you want to go to another field, add some color, or use completely different medium to do that, of course you can do that. Yeah, and there's some of the module I'm going to add a drawing section will be some of the specific practice, like the drape practice, the folding practice. I already recorded a lot of video about this. It's amazing that you can use just a simple line or shading to represent the drape, as well as some folding. Okay, and of course there are a lot of tip and tricks in here. Yeah, and yeah, of course the painting, I think, is one of the most interesting parts, and that's the wow factor. Okay, because you can use a lot of medium to paint, like oil paint and watercolor paint and all that. And the thing I love about most is that once you get the foundation of drawing and sketching using a pencil and all that foundation ready, the painting, you can actually get the basic ready, and then just to save you guys a little bit time, you can just move to the digital art section, because painting it actually require a lot. Okay, you have to, like, for example, it's oil painting, you have to buy all sort of the paint in order to actually paint. So if it's like a watercolor, you got a special paper for it, and you have to in order to get this water render effect. Of course, you can experiment, you can use that, but I strongly recommend that you do not spend too much, do not invest too much on this basic stuff, but rather you can use that repeatedly and simulate, and arguably a better result you can use that digitally, because you can sort of experiment digitally, and you can simulate the real life result, and you can redo that. Sketching really easy. You just get rubber, you can quickly erase things. But if you go to the painting part, this is my suggestion. Okay, do that digitally first, and then go back to traditionally. Because traditionally you need to actually invest things, and you can't undo things. So for example, you misdraw something, you have to paint over it, and sometimes it's just a mess up. You have to deal with that. But digitally, you can just tap, and you can undo things and redo things, and you can change different layer, change different blending effects and all that. Especially you can simulate watercolor or oily effects. Just use different brush and different mode. I think that's a very like a risk-free way of actually experiment. And then once you know that, and then you come back to the real stuff, and practice on the physical device. At least that's my suggestion. And yeah, watercolor, oil painting, and like still life, like sketching, drawing, and still life is also a very important subject to master, because normally you would like start with still life because you got more time to like observe it, think about the shadow, the color, the gradients, and all that, and then you can you can actually paint outside, okay, like people from like Renaissance or something like that. They just go out and have a like this typical artist icon, got this canvas, and outside and some on the grass, and actually paint something. Yeah, and if you have more money, you can actually like hire a model, so you can like hire a model to do like a long pose figure drawing. But of course there are like a lot of reference online that you can actually find. I prefer, I was work as a coder, so I prefer like using model and using the light to simulate it, so I can actually view that like virtually. Of course, I also got like a VR device, so like Oculus, I think it's Oculus Quest, Quest 3 or something like that. You can actually like look inside of the environment, so you can actually look at like in real life. The advantage of like real life, like you hire a model to do this long post the painting, is that you can actually observe it, and things the model can actually move a little bit, so you got that like a concept volume. It's easy for you to actually paint it, and you sort of follow the traditional routes of actual practice. But also, if you don't have that kind of it's okay. You can use photo for reference, or use a 3D model if you got a computer. And I often used 3D model or computers just give me some reference image, so I can practice. So just my way of doing things, and doing things on the budget. Okay, and yeah, the sculpting, traditionally you need to like actually doing this sculpting yourself, right? Using clay and all that. But I'm not going to doing too much of the real life sculpting. In fact, I prefer, this is my personal preference, I prefer to do sculpting like digitally. So in Blender, a software is open source and free software, you can act sculpting digitally, and I love it because it's less messy. And yeah, so if you like worry too much about especially the paint stuff, the sculpting stuff, the clay and all that, you may like worry about say the ceramatic, all that different chemical will like have a disadvantage to your house and all that. You can do things digitally. So that's personally that's my favorite. I do things digitally, less messy and more quick. And of course, you can always undo things, and of course, you can use the lots of like the latest technology to do that. And sometimes there is a lot of technology. Let me share with you. So, for example, you can actually scan things. So if you like really want to learn something, or you can actually get the scan, and you can do that yourself using some technology like Gaussian splatter, something like that. You can get this scans, rebuild that in the real life in your modeling environment that represent real life, and then you can like see that from a different angle, and can add that or sculpt that even further. It's just amazing. And of course, you can use that as reference and sculpt them from scratch. And I think sculpting digitally is a good way to review anatomy, because basically, if you're sculpting a human from scratch, you have to lower anatomy, so you can sort of review what we learned in anime, and it's a pretty beneficial, at least for me. And then yeah, and of course, finally, the most exciting part is actually bring this art creation to life by an animation. Okay, whether it's 2D or 3D, just make it move. You can use a lot of the tools. Like right now, you can actually use AI to help you to do that. But there's like no guarantee that it would do that perfectly. You have to combine your human effort and combine it. So like I said multiple times, you need to mix them up together. And so in the module of animation, we're going to go through just a quick concept of animation. So you have to know the like squash and stretch, anticipation, staging, and like pose, the pose action. You can go through a lot of software. Animation, to be honest, you have to, or sort of have to nowadays, if you want to learn and do it yourself, you have to use some sort of a digital format in order to do that. We got a lot of tools to work from, even though some open source tool like Creator or some paid tool like Photoshop's animation is not good enough. But there's like a Adobe, we got Animate, we got this like character animator is technically not animation in traditional sense. Is more like rig it and using a visual mapping, and then you can like make it move. But you can use like Clip Studio Paint. You can use of course you can use like interesting methods to do the animation. So for example, you can like use like clay, use a stop motion animation. You can use say if you like on iPad, you you have a use of Procreate, import your Procreate asset into the Dream, Procreate Dream. So so you can like get this Procreate asset that actually animated. I believe there's software called FlipLab, like a FlipLab book, something like that. You can like traditionally for kids, you draw some stick man and you can like match a man and make that move. So it's great practice to learn all this like anticipation and poses, it's pretty fun, and I think some of the concept in the animation is extremely useful, whether you use whatever software. So for example, if you were like doing some modeling in Blender, you want to make some of the assets that actually can move. You got some animation loop, then you can like import that to your game. You can do that, and like the arc motions and timing, spacing, all that, and exaggeration, because if you're like watching anime, you know that a human can't possibly do that. So for example, if you like you play a game like Link, you got like a sword out, some people like even make satire video about this, because you can't do that. So you have to know the animation, what's really happening in animation, and what's happening in real life. So that's the reason, if you're like using a real life person, there is a Japanese company that do this all this animation as there is a post reference. They would do all sort of crazy stuff, so you can get good reference for your animation. And but you have to be aware of that you can't copy exactly this animation. You have to exaggerate a little bit. So we will talk a lot about different concepts in animation, in animation, different animation modules. So that will be fun. And basically that's basically the thing that I want you guys to actually learn. And by the way, the animation, you can like make animation cycle and all that, and actually apply that. I already said that. I think I pretty much finished everything. The module that right now have planned for us. And remember, this course is like constantly updating. Okay, so if you can give me feedback, I will add more modules or add more to the like main content, so you can get the like bite-sized video that can, when you learn that, you can improve a little bit more. Learn that, achieve, practice, improve a little bit more. Okay.